How's it going? Chris from Blu-ray Critic. So it's been several weeks since my last Blu-ray update, so I got a really huge stack of new releases and some older catalog titles that I did not have in my collection. So let's start things off with Dirty Grandpa, the Unrated edition, and this is a funny movie, man. Slapstick comedy. I mean, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. If you like these type of movies, definitely check it out. It's basically no holds bar for Robert De Niro. He does some stuff you can't even imagine in this one, but overall, pretty solid film. Of course, with Zac Efron, and yeah, that's Dirty Grandpa, the Unrated edition. All right, so next film I got is Triple Nine, and I didn't hear too much about this film, and it didn't get promoted as much as it should, and it should have because it's a really well made movie, and it kind of has like the feel of the movie Heat in a way, but overall great performances with everybody involved, and a really solid cast. That's basically an all-star cast of characters in here. Kate Winslet, Woody Harrelson, Casey Affleck. Definitely check out this film, Triple Nine. All right, next up we got Ballers, the complete first season, starring Dwayne Johnson, and this is a really great HBO series, and it recently got picked up for season 2. And in this one, Dwayne Johnson plays a retired NFL superstar, and he works as a financial manager for current players now. And it basically showcases his life after his NFL career and how he's a mentor to the current players, knocking some sense into them, how to control their money and not to party or do anything stupid and, basically kiss their careers goodbye. But overall, really well made series. Definitely check it out. Contains 10 episodes. Lots of hot women in this show. Just overall love this one. Next up, we got The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio. This is the 4K Blu-ray combo, as well as the regular edition, which opens up to a great image on the inside. And what can I say about this film? As I already mentioned in my previous review, just amazing film, one of my favorite movies of 2015. Cinematography is just beautifully done by Chivo and wonderfully directed by Alejandro Gianaritu, and well-deserved Oscar for DiCaprio. And also for Tom Hardy, just a solid performance for him. And just what can I say? Definitely check it out if you haven't done so yet. If you haven't been hiding under a rock, I'm sure many people have already seen this one. Next up, I got the remastered edition of Independence Day, and beautiful picture quality for this one. And also, it's going to be released on 4K as well. But yeah, if you haven't picked up any edition of Independence Day, definitely pick up this one to get that beautiful restored picture quality. Next up, I picked up Aladdin and the King of Thieves, and also The Return of Jafar. And these were exclusive to Disney, not rewards, but their movie club. So yeah, I got it from there, and it's 2 movie collection, and it goes great to complete my Aladdin collection, because we had Aladdin being released on Blu-ray back in 2015. So yeah, overall, just 2 solid movies. Sure, they're not the best. You can't really compare these to the quality or the greatness of the original film, but overall, it's an Aladdin film, and it's really great to add to my collection. So got that finally going. Next up, I picked up Top Gun, the 30th anniversary Steelbook edition with the American flag on the background, really beautifully done. And pretty much the movie that launched Tom Cruise's career. Of course, he had other films that he already made early in the 80s, but this is the one that basically catapulted his career and made him a superstar. But yeah, pick up this Steelbook if you haven't done so. It's just a really nice added addition to your collection. Next up, I picked up Backtrack with Adrian Brody and also Sam Neill, a really solid horror film. And this was released by Lionsgate. And I like Adrian Brody films. They're fun to watch. And this one, he's like haunted by his past. Like he loses his daughter. Overall, really interesting film, and it's definitely worth a watch. All right, so next up I got Remember, which stars Christopher Plummer, also co-stars Martin Landau, and again, pretty solid movie. It's a thriller, and this one, Christopher Plummer and Martin Landau, they both play Auschwitz survivors. So it's come to their attention that there is this, Nazi guard who was, during the time of World War II, a Nazi guard, and he's currently living in America under a false identity. So Christopher Plummer's character heads out on a journey to try to find that guy and get revenge for killing his family during World War II. But yeah, pretty good movie. Definitely check it out. Next up, I picked up Anomalisa, which is a stop-motion animation film that is really well done and one of my favorite films from 2015. And this is directed by Duke Johnson as well as Charlie Kaufman. And Charlie Kaufman is the man behind the movies Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, with Jim Carrey and also Kate Winslet, as well as Being John Malkovich. But yeah, this film took about 3 years to make as far as to film the stop motion animation process. But movies go into production for a long time before it's actually filmed. But yeah, stop motion animation is just really time consuming, and it gives you a behind the scenes look. It's a 30-minute behind the scenes look with cast and crew interviews where you can see how this was made. But definitely check this one out. It really gives you an interesting perspective about life, or rather Michael Stone's life, the character. Next up, I picked up Where to Invade Next, which is a great documentary by Michael Moore, in which he travels to Europe and various other countries, Tunisia, also to Iceland, to see how people live their lives and what policies he can bring back to America. Really eye-opening, and it's just interesting to see. Like, he visits a cafeteria and the kids over there are eating like gourmet meals, and he's showing pictures of, you know, nasty sloppy joes or hot dogs that we eat here in America, as far as the kids do in school. And you know, the chefs in France, they're like, you know, I feel bad for the kids there. You know, that's pretty sad, like the meals that they're eating. And you know, the kids in Paris and in the cafeteria, or just in France in general, you know, they're eating these fancy cheeses and all kinds of other crazy meals. I mean, it would have been nice if we had that here, but any case, definitely check out this documentary. It's a pretty solid one. All right, I got a couple new releases, catalog titles. I got Agent Cody Banks and also Agent Cody Banks 2 Destination London, and these are released by Olive Films. So pretty solid kids movies. You know, adults can enjoy this too. It's kind of like a kid version of a James Bond film where he's a CIA secret agent, and he gets sent out to various missions to track down bad guys and see what they're up to. Pretty great entertainment going on those. Also, two other great Olive Film releases, French Postcards, which is a pretty solid film, and it's about French Postcards. It's about exchange students from America traveling abroad to Paris to basically study the culture and also find love along the way. But really well-made film, and actually features the original soundtrack being placed back into the film, and that's the first time since its theatrical release that it's happened, because the DVD edition had a different soundtrack. So it's good that we finally got the original soundtrack mixed back in. And also the Whoopie Boys, which is a hilarious comedy with Michael O'Keefe and also Paul Rodriguez. Kind of feels like a Dumb and Dumber version. Only these characters are not as stupid, and you know, they're trying to basically score some quick cash. You know, score with some ladies and have some fun along the way, in which they travel from New York to Palm Beach, Florida. But pretty solid film. So let me show you a stack full of my other releases that I picked up, and they're older titles, but I just didn't have in my collection. And I'll also show you some other new releases that I picked up from Arrow Video. All right, let me show you now my Arrow Video collection, brand new releases. We got Dillinger, which is a really great gangster drama, and I kind of like the film Bonnie and Clyde, but overall, really epic film, and the character who plays John Dillinger looks practically identical to the actual John Dillinger, so it's almost like a mirror image of himself, even though he's a different actor. But definitely check this film out, really solid movie. Also, a great 90s flick, Hire to Kill, with George Kennedy, Brian Thompson, also Oliver Reed. And this is directed by Nico Mastorakis, and really enjoyable film. Some people may call it cheesy or whatnot, but I enjoy this one. So definitely check it out if you like these type of action films. Also got some horror films from Arrow Video US, Blood Bath, pretty solid movie. And this is actually a unique experience. And it's films produced by Roger Corman, in which he wasn't satisfied with the first cut, so he had several directors, you know, come up with other versions of the film, you know, different versions of the film. And it all started off with a film called Operation Titian, and it ended up being like this, you know, vampire type of movie. But overall, it's an experience that you must witness. Also, Sid Haig is part of the third and fourth film. But overall, for what it was, I think it's, you know, a rather interesting film to check out, because you just basically see the evolution of the four cuts until the final version of the film. And you're going to see several scenes look the same throughout all four movies, but different characters involved. But overall, you know, it's a movie that you should definitely experience. So that is Bloodbath. Also picked up from Arrow Video US, Killer Dames, which is two great gothic tales by Emilio Miraglia, Italian films. And these are a total blast. Lots of hot women in this one, lots of great nudity, and definitely check this one out. And also Outlaw Gangster VIP, which is a gangster drama, a Japanese gangster drama. Well made, and it's several movies in this one. It's all about, let's see, 6 titles altogether. So surprisingly, these older catalog titles I just did not have in my collection, so I had to definitely pick it up. So I finally ended up getting End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very underrated film. Sure, it's a bit dated now because of the premise of the film, but I remember seeing this in theaters and absolutely loved it. Also picked up Kindergarten Cop, and I got this about 2 weeks ago. And sure, the transfer isn't great, but I just wanted to add this to my Schwarzenegger collection to get it all complete. But a really solid film. Grew up watching it, and I love it to this day. And then they recently came up with a second film, Kindergarten Cop 2, with Dolph Lundgren. So yeah, so also picked up Mill Creek's edition of Last Action Hero. So the audio on this edition isn't the greatest. It's down mixed. If you want to get a better audio, definitely go with this Sony release. But I just couldn't pass up on the offer because I got this for less than $5, and I absolutely love the artwork. So yeah, Last Action Hero. And unfortunately, this didn't do too well at the box office because it was released alongside Jurassic Park, and that just blew up at the box office, made all kinds of money, and people just kind of forgot this one. But overall, hopefully a new generation of people will enjoy this, and yeah, just enjoy it for what it is. It's a pretty solid action movie. Also ended up picking up Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Once again, I did not have this in my collection. The mind-bending edition, which is, the edition to pick up because there's a really great commentary track, which is absolutely hilarious with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the director of the film. Next up, I picked up The Trip to Italy, and this one's basically about 2 guys traveling the countryside of Italy and eating at different restaurants. There isn't much of a story, but the main reason why I got this, it's because of the locations. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. And this is actually a sequel. They made the first film called The Trip. But yeah, definitely check it out for the scenery, but don't expect much of a story. So surprisingly, for the next 2 titles, I did not have Steven Seagal in Under Siege, and also Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. So basically, I'm on a mission to pick up all of Steven Seagal's A-list movies, the ones that went to theaters. So yeah, I still need to pick up Exit Wounds, and the other ones that I want are still not available on Blu-ray, such as On Deadly Ground, also Fire Down Below, also The Glimmer Man with Keenan Ivory Wayans. I like those 3 films, but yeah, if we can get those on Blu-ray, that'll be great. I definitely do not give a damn for his straight-to-DVD movies. Those are just absolutely terrible. He may have 1 or 2 that are slightly okay, but I still don't care enough for them to even have in my collection. But yeah, so Under Siege 2. Also picked up Prince and Purple Rain, tragic news when he passed away. So I definitely had to pick this up. I've always been curious to see this movie. Surprisingly, I never saw it before, but yeah, now I finally have it. And when he died, all the prices on this was going like skyrocket, like 50, 60. Some were selling for $80. That's how sometimes it gets when a famous celebrity dies. But the prices have dropped down to like around $10 now. So yeah, you can get it for a good deal. Also picked up Alfred Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder. This was a pretty good deal going on over at the Best Buy. I was able to pick it up for like $20. The 3D is really decent for its time, but the picture quality is you can't really expect much from it. Certain scenes go really, really soft to a point where it's practically blurry. But yeah, definitely wanted to add this to my collection. So that's Dial M for Murder. Also, finally closed out my collection for the American Pie series. Got American Wedding. Also, a couple Jim Carrey films, a few Jim Carrey films. Mr. Popper's Penguins. Unfortunately, this is the French-Canadian edition. I'll live with that, with the French-Canadian writing on there. Also, Yes Man, and Me, Myself, and Irene. So that'll do it for now. Pretty huge stack I got from this past several weeks. Thanks for taking a look, and I'll see you guys soon in my next update. Take care.